OK, let's talk meter reading day on the 30th of September, so just over a week away. The reason for it, on the 1st of October, almost all energy prices change. Most are up. A few, as we discussed before, on fixes drop. Now, if you pay by direct debit, firms estimate your usage, and 90% of you do pay by direct debit, and they also estimate when it's used. So you don't want them to assign more of your units to the more expensive period. How do you stop that? You submit a meter reading. Take a picture when you do it too, just so you've got evidence. That way, there's no estimate and there's no discrepancy. Of course, it could have worked in your favour if they get it wrong the other way, but this just makes it fair. But I would say let's not call it meter reading day anymore. Let's switch to meter reading week. There's no problem doing this a few days before. It makes very little tangible difference. And you don't actually need to submit your meter reading on the day. Most firms will let you submit it afterwards and backdate it. British Gas for the 30th of September up to the 14th of October. Bulb for 3 days, and I've listed other companies. You can have a look on the graphic there.
Why wouldn't you do it on the day?
You want the honest answer?
Yeah.
When I talked about meter reading day in April, it crashed all their websites and it crashed all their phone lines.
Right.
The companies got frustrated and you got frustrated because you couldn't get in touch. I don't want that to happen again. It makes it easier for everyone. And more importantly, right now, there are many vulnerable people who are struggling, calling up their energy firms for help. I don't want to down all the phone lines. So if I'm honest, I am doing a little bit of social engineering here by saying, take the pressure off the day and let's spread it over a week. And it should be less hassle for everybody if we do it that way.
OK, I understand.
I will also say those with working smart or prepay meters, you don't need to bother. Though you might want to take a picture of where you are on the day because it will prepay, you don't do it, and smart meters should be doing it for you.
But is there anything people on direct debit can do?
Yeah, I mean, this is all about direct debit. I do have something for prepay, though. Let me move on. Prepayment meters. Sometimes you keep the rate of the day that you pay when you top up. So if you've got cash now, and I know many people on prepaid don't have cash, but if you do have cash now, topping up in September, you could then keep that rate into October after and beyond when the prices have risen. And you keep the rate until you top up again. So let me look at when this works. Gas, doesn't work at all. There are technical reasons because of the nature of the meters. I'm not going to bother explaining that to you. If you're on a smart meter, so smart electric meters, does not work. If you're with E.ON and Scottish Power on a non-smart electric prepay meter, they have told me it won't work. But all the rest of the big firms over there, they've said it is likely to work. Why likely? Why haven't I got a tick? Well, what they've actually said is they have the right to back charge if people do this, to get the money back. But most of them say they are not currently planning to do so, that they do reserve the right to do so. So what does it mean? Best case scenario, you do it and you keep September's rates into October and possibly into November. Worst case scenario, they back charge, you don't pay any more, but you've got a little bit of cash flow issue for now. The only thing I would point out on there is 66 quid a month, the voucher that you get on prepay. They're valid 3 months, so you'd want to top up again in time to be able to use those vouchers. You asked about direct debit. Yeah. On this, quite a few people get in touch with me and they say, am I allowed to artificially inflate my direct debit reading before we get to the 1st of October so I can have more units at the cheap price? That's fraud.